going on, my PT peeps and my Walking Dead family? One Eye Bri back from the PT channel to talk about The Walking Dead Season 9. Some interesting theories going around about The Walking Dead Season 9 after the San Diego Comic-Con trailer that aired a couple of days ago. We have an interesting one about Rick Grimes, The Whispers, Michonne, comic stuff, the show. Spoiler warning, obviously, if you don't want to know this information, as I don't want to ruin anything for you. But a big question is, did the Comic-Con trailer show Rick Grimes' death? If you love The Walking Dead like we do, join our Walking Dead family here at the PT channel. It's easy, just hit that subscribe button, and I hope you do. Info credit and photo credits to these fine folks here. I want to point out someone on YouTube, Janet Person from our Walking Dead community, and I had my live stream today, and we were talking about this scene right here about the bridge. And she asked the question, do you think the Whispers sabotaged the bridge to stop them from going over to their area? The Whispers are territorial. They live in a certain area, and I think that's a great point. I think it's definitely a possibility that the Whispers did this to the bridge to stop people from coming over. A storm could do this for sure, but that's massive destruction of concrete and steel and rebar and a lot of stuff. So that's not likely to me to think a storm would just do this. But again, anything is possible, but I like to think the idea is that the Whispers did this to stop people from coming into their area. And it makes sense because this bridge is going to be a big part of the first half of Season 9 for sure, as we're going to see fights, problems with saviors, Daryl, Rick, and some walkers. So we've seen a lot of different clips for Season 9 of The Walking Dead, and the rumor is that Rick dies this season, in the first half of the season, around episode 905, and that could definitely happen. I could see that happening for a variety of reasons, but let's talk about what happened in the trailer. We saw Rick several times, and at this point, he's looking down somewhere. Trees all around him. Is he looking at this group of walkers? Could be. It's highly likely that it could be this same set of walkers that he's looking at, coming towards the bridge. Could be the same area that the Whispers are on. And let's say the Whispers are on the other side of that bridge. The bridge becomes complete or enough for people to get across it. Rick goes across and they're still working on the bridge, and these walkers come about. But let's look at this walker right here, or at least I think it's a walker. It could definitely be a Whisper. It has a hood over its head, and yes, the Whispers wear walker skins, not hoods. But to me, something just looks off about that one. If you look at all of them, they look like walkers. And yes, there are different levels of walkers. Some in the front, named hero walkers that'll be on screen. Some in the back wear masks, and some just have hair over their faces. And it's interesting that this walker is towards the front that we definitely see. It definitely stands out in my eyes. Then we see a shot of Rick's boots, bloody and stumbling, kind of dragging a little bit and walking. There's blood dripping in the center on the dirt, kind of on that same path that the walkers kind of were on. There's blood on his boots, his jeans, so he's definitely bleeding. Is it walker blood? Is it his own blood? I think it's his blood. He could be stabbed or shot, but let's go with stabbed. So if he gets stabbed right here, or by a couple scenes earlier, it could be from that Whisperer. I think that's a Whisperer camouflaged within the walkers. That's what they do. And that could be one of the first introductions of the Whispers. They stab Rick and eventually kill Rick. So Rick is on the side, wounded. It's tough to see here, but based on the image, if you had a little more piece of a shirt, you can see a bloody spot. Watch the trailer, you'll see what I'm talking about. He's definitely holding his side from what I believe is a stab wound. It looks right around the spot that could be dripping on his boots, his jeans, on the ground. The area around there fits where it's at. The only thing I kind of don't get here is why no one helped Rick to begin with. Maybe Rick was trying to take these walkers out by himself and he thought it wasn't a big deal. Not knowing that one was a Whisperer, he gets stabbed and ends up killing that Whisperer. But the big thing here is, why is Rick all alone and no one's helping him? Well, Daryl and company are on their way to help him, but I just think of, why is Rick alone and bleeding or wounded there? Is it after the fight between Justin and Daryl and the new savior Jed and Aaron? I'm not sure about that, but to me, Rick is clearly wounded and he's on the other side of the bridge, the Whisperer side of the bridge, which definitely connects this theory. The other thing in the trailer was interesting. It's kind of subliminal message, is that Daryl has a knife. To me, it looks like Negan's knife, pointed down the path there. You see Rick's head coming around the corner of the tent, and the way Daryl is sharpening the knife is pointing at Rick as Rick comes towards him. Is that a nice way of hinting that Rick gets stabbed? I think so. Another point here of the trailer is that I think Rick gets wounded and starts hallucinating. Kind of like back in season 3, when Rick saw Shane when he was attacking Woodbury. I think that's what happens here. Or at some point this season, we saw Jon Bernthal around Sonoy and rumored to be filming, and then it was confirmed that he was filming. But I think Rick gets injured, starts hallucinating things. Jon Bernthal was on set, so we get a Shane flashback, hallucination. I think that's what happens. I think Rick gets injured, he's fighting to stay alive, but ends up dying. He sees Shane in a flashback, hallucination type of thing, and maybe he's like, I'm coming to see you, brother. Very sad. Another point of interest here is when Michonne is taking out these two walkers, which I believe are whisperers. And again, you have to watch the trailer in real time, but Michonne takes out the one on our left, watching the screen on the left, with a throat cut, and then comes across the walker on the right with another throat cut, not head slices. And I'm not sure if the walker or whisperer on the right that Michonne is about to kill has something in their right hand. Also, the hair is kind of weird on these walkers, so it could definitely be whispers. I think Michonne has the comic Dante part right here. As you can see, Dante has a sword, Michonne has a sword, so it makes the most sense that Michonne has that part on the show. So is Michonne running into whispers here? I think so. Is it after the fact where Rick is already killed? Is Michonne trying to go after them? Could possibly be as well. Maybe this is where Negan escapes. Not sure if that's Lucille or not in her hand, because the more that I look at it, it's hard to tell what this object actually is. Here, it looks like Lucille. It looks like a baseball bat that's all bloodied, but why would Negan ever drop Lucille and never keep Lucille? And how did Negan get out of the jail cell? So many questions. What's up with the final warning? I think this is a message to the people to stay away. I think Michonne will come across this as the message from the whispers that are written. Stay away, we are close, you don't want to mess with us. Also, I thought these signs were very interesting in the trailer. I think they're all together. They were probably up on a fence that got knocked down, but to me, it looks like a message from the whispers. Road closed and basically stay away. There's a walker walking on the signs, then aimlessly walking on the concrete and walking around somewhere, but I just feel this is a connection to the whispers. We're definitely going to see them. I think we'll see them in episode 905, 906, and the early word was that Rick dies in episode 905. So that thing with the bridge could definitely happen early on this season. Then the walker keeps walking and he sees just this open area that's kind of run down and broken down and just desolate. I think this is the Whisperer's lair or where they're at or hiding out. Then it just seems like it's all connected. I think this is the field where Michonne was taking out those walkers that were probably Whisperers. I think it's all coming together, guys. Then at the very end of the trailer, we hear people running and then we see two people go into this ditch. One throws a crutch, I thought, but to me it looks like a shovel. So I think it's Eugene and Rosita. I'm not sure if that's Marco or Luke or what, but I'm going with it's Eugene and Rosita. I thought it was a crutch, but he throws a shovel. It happens. It's just a weird shot. And after watching it, I think it's Eugene and Rosita and they have a shovel. Are they digging a grave? Is it Rick's grave? That definitely is possible. I think it makes sense for that. Then we see a shot here of walkers going by, and I highlighted something in one of the walkers' hands. To me, it looks like a gun, or maybe it's his hand position, but I think it's a gun. And the Whisperers we know from the comics carry guns, knives, and swords. They blend in with the walkers, and they use them to get close to you. And I think that's what we saw with the horde of walkers that I think was coming towards Rick. Here's another shot of some different whispers, maybe walkers or whispers. This is the point that they say, where are they? And it's definitely confirmation that the whispers are here. And I'm not sure if that guy's holding a knife. And also the head looks pretty different. You can see the hairline, it just looks a little off. Here's a great shot of what we could see this season. See the walkers that are coming towards Jesus. A guy is holding a knife that blends in with the walkers. That's what the whisperers do. So I think Rick gets killed by a whisper that's hiding like that. And I'm excited and dreading it at the same time. It should be awesome. It should be a big deal. It should be an epic thing this season. I think the whispers are going to be great for the show. I want to see how it goes down. I want to see what's up with this. Rosita, Eugene, Marco, Ken, the differences, the connections, how it's the same, how it's not. But what do you think, guys? Is this how it goes down for Rick Grimes? Is he getting taken out by a whisperer? I think so. I think it makes sense. I think the trailer gave a lot away. What do you think? Do you think the whisperers are on that other side of the bridge? Is that why this is all causing a problem? Do you think the bridge just broke down? Because they said a good point in the live stream as well. Angela Kang said that buildings and structures are going to degrade a little bit. Did the bridge just happen to fall apart? I think it makes sense that the Whisperers are on that side. Let me know your thoughts. Does Rick die by the Whisperers? Post your comments below, like, share, subscribe, and comment. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button to become a valued member of the PT channel. Remember guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can achieve your goals, just like my zombie apocalypse book series titled Fight For Us, available online. Remember guys, believe in yourself, you can do it.